Hello, I'm David Lines, and I'm a teacher of Transcendental Meditation in Orange County in California. And talking about TM, it's very interesting, Transcendental Meditation, because it's really completely different from any other kind of meditation or relaxation technique. TM is an effortless procedure. And it seems that we are hardwired for this experience of deep inner calmness, quietness, deep rest and relaxation. We call it restful alertness. So the technique of TM enables us to have that experience completely without effort. Now, what's very interesting is there are really a lot of people these days are talking about TM. A lot of celebrities, people we know in the public eye are talking about TM. People who maybe have been doing it for many, many years. And they're coming out and saying, they've been doing it for 30, 40 years and they have experienced really profound benefits over that time. So how does TM work? TM works on two levels. It works on the level of the mind. The technique is a mental technique. So you do it sitting in a comfortable chair for 20 minutes twice a day. And you have that experience of inner calm, tranquility, peacefulness. But at the same time, the physiology changes. There are profound physiological changes. And those are measurable changes to brain physiology, to blood chemistry, to metabolic rate. And that experience of profound rest leads to a whole range of very practical benefits for daily life. So the kinds of benefits we see is clarity of mind, more energy, less anxiety, more positivity, more optimism, less depression, less neuroticism, clear thinking. And these come about just very automatically and very naturally. TM is a very natural procedure, and really anyone can benefit from it. For example, Dr. Oz, everyone's heard of Dr. Oz. Well, he learned Transcendental Meditation a few years ago and he introduced it to his company. And this is what he had to say.
I, in my heart, believe one of the most powerful things we can do is to teach people how to take better care of themselves, using just themselves. So when I give Transcendental Meditation to these folks, I'm doing it because I know it's going to make them more able to make the show what it can be.
Another person people know about, DeGeneres. She says she talks about TM as much as she can without sounding like a proselytizer.
So I learned how to meditate. I've tried to meditate before, and the breathing and all the other stuff that when I did yoga, and I was always opening my eye, and it was like a minute later, and I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? This is just impossible, focusing on the breathing. And so when I learned about TM, which I'd heard about it, and I'd heard so many people, I was very impressed by the people that I learned that they did TM, and I was like, well, they're interesting people, and there must be something to it. And I thought, I'll try this, even though I'm not good at meditating. And something about TM, it is the only time I have that stillness. It's the only way I've ever been able to sit long enough that I open my eyes, and I'm sad that it's 20 minutes later.
There was a recent piece on YouTube with Jerry Seinfeld talking to Howard Stern about their experiences of TM. Both of them have been doing it for 30, 40 years. And really speak very highly of it.
For radio, I feel it added tremendous creativity, and having that morning and afternoon. In fact, to this day, after I do the radio show, my head is pounding so bad from the headphones and the loud noise and 5 hours of headphones and talking. I mean, it's exhausting.
Right.
I go and I meditate, and I walk out and I have the whole rest of my day. And I'm a new person.
I know.
I don't think I could really live without it.
So these are very different kinds of people, and it's a very important point. Each one is very different background, different kind of work they do. The point here is that Transcendental Meditation can be done by anyone. And there are schools where all the children do it, and it produces amazing results in the individuals, the students, but also in the dynamic of the whole school, the collective consciousness of the whole school. David Lynch, who you probably heard of, the film director, he set up a foundation to raise money in order to fund the teaching of children in schools, teaching Transcendental Meditation. And something like 500,000 children around the world have learned TM in that context as a result of his foundation. So other areas of benefit, health benefits are very important. And in the last few years, the National Institutes of Health has funded something like $25 million of research on Transcendental Meditation, looking at heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, even death. And it's very interesting. There was one study that looked at people who'd already had one heart attack and so were at great risk of a second heart attack. And it was found that over a 5-year period, that group, the TM group, was about half as likely to die as the non-TM group. So these are very profound changes on the level of the physiology. And as I said earlier, TM is completely different from other kinds of meditation and relaxation. It's completely different. And it uses this automatic, natural tendency that every person has. And using that natural tendency, the experience in TM of profound rest and alertness comes about without effort, automatically. So this experience of restful alertness we talk about, scientists have identified that experience of transcendence as experiencing inner wakefulness where the mind is awake to its own nature. They've identified that as an experience of the unified field of all the laws of nature, the basic underlying field of life, which is the basis of everything in the world around us. And so when the individual awareness experiences that silent level, it becomes more in tune with the laws of nature. In tune with the laws of nature which are promoting life and progress everywhere. And so what people find, what they experience, is that when they have this experience regularly over time, it produces a great growth, a great inner development, which supports everything else in their life. So once again, I'm David Lines, and I'm a teacher of Transcendental Meditation in Orange County in California. And I've done a series of interviews which are now on Therapy Cable, and you can watch those interviews if you'd like to know more about Transcendental Meditation in more depth.